Hello guys, it's me Gonzala, and today we're gonna do something different. I'm going to tell some stories. Excuse me for my English. It sometimes it's not working because I'm not really yet good. But I have on this episode called American Folklore. I think to say so. And today we're gonna do some ghost stories. And I found a very interesting one that I would like to just share. You can go to the website too. I can have a link to the description. But I hope you enjoy it and do some feedback for me, please, because my English sucks. My English sucks really. So this will called Don't Turn On the Light, and it's a horror story about a girl who's living in a dorm and something happens. So I'm gonna read like it says here, and I hope I'll get it. So let's start. She commandeered the room in the basement of her dorm as soon as she realized she would have to pull an all-nighter in order to prepare to tomorrow's final exam. Her roommate, Jenna, liked to get to bed early. She packed up everything she thought she would need and went downstairs to study. And study, and study some more. It was 2 o'clock when she realized that she left one of the textbooks upstairs on her bed. With a dramatic sigh, she rose and climbed the stairs slowly to her third-floor dorm room. The lights were dim in the long hallway, and the old boards creaked under her weary tread. She reached her room and turned the handle as softly as she could, pushing the door open just enough to slip inside, so that the hall lights wouldn't wake her roommate. The room was filled with a strange metallic smell. She frowned a bit, her arms breaking out into chills. There was a strange feeling of malice in the room, as if a malevolent gaze were fixed upon her. It was a mind trick. The all-nighters was catching up with her. She could hear Jenna breathing on the far side of the room, a heavy sound, almost as if she had been running. Jenna must have picked up a cold during the last tense week before finals. She crept along the wall until she reached her bed, groping among the cover for the stray history textbook. In the silence she could hear a steady drip, drip, drip sound. She sang silently. Facilities would have to come to fix the sink in the bathroom again. Her fingers closed on the textbook. She picked it up softly and withdrew from the room as silently as she could. Revealed to be out of the room, she hurried back downstairs, collapsed into an overstuffed chair, and studied until 6 o'clock. She finally decided that enough was enough. If she slipped upstairs now, she could get a couple hours sleep before her 9 o'clock exam. The first of the sun rays were beaming through the windows as she slowly slid the door open, hoping not to awaken Jenna. Her nose was met by an earthy metallic smell a second before her eyes registered the scene in her dorm room. Jenna was spread-eagled on the top of her bed against the far wall, her throat cut from ear to ear and her nightdress stained with blood. 2 drops of blood fell from a saturated blanket with a drip-drip noise that sounded like a leaky faucet. She must scream poured from her mouth, but she couldn't stop herself any more than she could. Keys wringing her hands all along the hallway, doors slammed and footsteps came running down the passage. With the moments, other students had gathered in her doorway, and one of her friends gripped her arm with a shaking hand and pointed a trembling finger toward the wall. Her eyes widened in shock at what she saw. Then she fainted into her friend's arms. On the wall above her bed, written in her roommate's blood, were the words, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light?" The story was excerpted from Spooky Maryland. So yeah, I hope it was a good story because I actually thought it was a really good story, and there are some comments here below that you can comment, and there are some says it's very scary and it's awesome, others think it's weird and not scary at all. So I'm going to take another one now. I don't really know what, because I'm just taking those the the most scary things. So the next is called The Face. This is from Spooky Indiana, I think. I'm just taking things. I haven't really known this, so yeah, let's start. The medical student topped into love as soon as he set eyes on Shayla, the beautiful new transfer student. She had masses of long black hair and eyelashes so long they got tangled in her curls when she leaned over her desk. The medical student had a withdrawn nature, thought not by inclination. He learned the hard way that people avoided him when they heard about his insane father locked away in an asylum. But he had to overcome his taciturn nature or risk losing Shayla to one of the other fellows that pant after her. So the medical student volunteered to tutor her Shayla in one of her classes. After that, it was easy. Shayla topped in love with the medical students as madly as he was in love with her. They would everywhere together, hardly bearing apart of classes. 4 classes. The medical student lived in a bubbly of joy until the day he saw Shayla speaking to a good-looking fellow who lived in the same dorm. They were laughing together over something one of the professors had said in history class, and a shaft of sheer jealousy pierced the medical student's gut. How dare she love another man? He confronted his Shayla with her perceived trespass, and she stared at him incredulously. "You're crazy," she said. He winced, reminded of his father, and shouted insult at Shayla until she stalked off in a rage. They made up over dinner, and things were fine for a while until the medical student saw Shayla borrow a pen from the handsome blonde fellow at the library. That set him off again. They hissed angry words at each other until the librarian kicked them out. The medical student huddled on a narrow bed in his dorm room until back anger gave way to common sense. He called Sarah and apologized. She accepted his apology and they were back together. The medical student was scheduled to take Shayla to a local dance on Friday night, so he rushed back to the dorm to dress in his best. As he turned to leave, the medical student noticed that a scalpel had fallen out of his medical bag and lay haphazardly on his desk. He thrust it carelessly inside the bag and went to pick up his girlfriend and escort her to the dance. The couple had a fabulous evening, dancing and drinking and eating. They left the party around midnight and walked hand in hand back to his dorm room for a nightcap. When they reached the entryway, Shayla veered off for a moment to ask a red-haired fellow from one of her art class about an assignment that was due the next day. The medical student was instantly filled with good-knowing jealousy. When Shayla rejoined him, he hustled her upstairs to his room and shouted, "You flirt with every man you meet, you tramp." "You're crazy," Shayla shot back. "Stark raving mad." The boyfriend saw red. "Don't call me mad," he said, his hand groping for a loose scalpel in his magical bag on the desk. When the mist cleared from his eyes, Shayla lay dead at his feet, her throat cut from ear to ear. The whole room was covered in red gore, and her masses of black hair lay in a pool of streaming blood. The medical student's brain went into overdrive. Hide the body, clean up the blood, invent an alibi. But first, he stared at the dead girl he had loved so much. Then he knelt beside the body and slowly cut off her face. He wrapped the face carefully in plastic before putting it on his desk drawer. Then he cleaned up the blood and hid the body and tunneled in the laundry room. Next morning, the medical student told his roommate Shayla had broken up with him and gone home in a sleep without finishing her classes. The roommate accepted the story without question and didn't appear to notice the way the medical student peered obsessively inside his desk drawer. The medical student finally tore himself away Shayla's face to attend his 11 o'clock class. When he returned at lunchtime, he found his roommate leaning out of the open window, looking ill. "I think you have flu. I'll best run to the pharmacy and pick up something for it," the roommate said when he came in. "Want me to take a look?" the medical student asked, reaching for his bag. His roommate turned white. "No, thank you. Don't bother," he gasped, particularly running from the room. The medical student shrugged in exasperation, peered into the drawer at Shayla's face. I settled down to work on my paper he had due next week. Downstairs, his roommate was on the phone with the police. The custody was ballistic when the police came with a warrant to arrest him. The man handed him out of his chair while a grim-faced officer took a look in the desk drawer. When he saw the dead girl's face, the officer swore violently and vomited on the floor. The medical student was placed in alternate with his father, who was locked away in a patterned room next door. Every day, while his injured father tried to kill his attendants, the bored boyfriend went and stared out the window, seeing Charlotte's lovely face in the branches of a nearby tree. The face seemed to sway to the rip of his father's fist as his insane parent prodded and pounded at the walls. Back in the dorm, the ghost of a young girl in a blonde-stained dress still floats along the hallway, searching for her face. So that's his story. Anyway, I'm gonna end this episode here, or story time here, and I hope you enjoy, because I really would appreciate if I should do more, because I actually like to talking or reading, even if I'm not really that good. But please leave a comment, like, dislike, or whatever, and I hope I'll see you in another episode. Bye!